today is to show some things that I have not demonstrated before. One of the things I wanted to do was show you the single queue flight director. So I switched it over from dual queue to single queue. So as we're flying along, pay attention to what the flight director is doing and how that single queue works versus the dual queue. And the other thing I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a VOR approach, and I'm going to do some things that you might get in real life, like getting a vector to intercept a radial. So let's go ahead and load the approach. I've already got my destination of Decatur in. So I go to my home screen and load a procedure approach, and you say I got Decatur already loaded in. And the approach I want to select is the VOR to 17, and I'm going to do the UKW, which is the buoy VOR transition. Let's load and activate that approach. Okay, so now I've got that approach in, and we would go direct. Let me shrink this down a little bit. You can see on this screen where if I had it in nav mode on my autopilot, I would go direct to the buoy VOR to enter the hold. So let's suppose at this point we're flying along and the air traffic control says 557 Romeo Alpha, intercept the 080 radial of the buoy VOR and then direct buoy. So I could do that by going direct. I've already got buoy in there. My course 2, they said the 080 radial, so I would do the inverse of that, which would be the 260 radial. So, or 260 outbound. Enter that. Course 2. Activate. And now you can see that I've got the course line for the 080 radial entered. So if I were to get an instruction to fly heading 340
traffic Archer 674 Alpha turning left
to intercept that radial, I just use my heading bug to intercept or to get my heading. Get that over to 340. Okay, got the heading dialed into 340 now, and I'll now enter. When I get to the radial, I can then just hit my nav button on the autopilot, and I'll go direct to that VOR. I can see right now that I've got, and it shows up in two places, probably easiest to read down here on the GTN 750, 9.5 miles until I cross that VOR. It also shows up on as a cross-track error down here on the HSI part of the primary flight display. So, as I'm approaching the radial, now let's say that air traffic control tells me 7 Romeo Alpha, expect to hold at the buoy VOR. Okay, you're ready to copy the hold. Say 7 Romeo Alpha, hold on the 320 radial, 320 radial, northwest of buoy, northwest of buoy,
to the northwest.
1 minute leg, right turn. Sort of a standard hold that you might get.
79 turning, base 17, Carroll Travis.
So I can go again back to my direct course. I'm still going to put in my same course that I had last time, which was 260. So I'm going to put 260 in again. But the default there is just giving me the direct 2 course. Enter, say, my hold. Now I want to get the 320 radial, so I do course 320 inbound, and you can see that its default is inbound, and this is telling me that's going to be a hold that's southeast of the VOR, so I need to have that as the outbound. So I changed that to outbound, and so now I can see with my course of 320 outbound, that is holding northwest of the VOR. default is right turns, 1 minute legs. Let's go ahead and leave that. If I had an expect further clearance time, I could put in an expect further clearance time by just hitting this button. I'm not going to do that right now. And then I can go ahead and load hold. And let's load and activate that hold. Okay, so now, if I zoom in here, you can see it, and I'm trying to pay attention also to traffic in the area, and also I want to make sure that I don't cross over that radial. I want to make sure I go switch over to nav mode before I cross that radial. But if I bring my screen down, you can now see I've got my inbound course, and I've got the hold loaded to enter as was directed by air traffic control. Let's zoom back out here a little bit. So right now, the main thing that I'm looking for is going to my nav mode when I get close to crossing that radial. So I'm 2.5 miles away. I'm not sure exactly what the best. Let's go ahead. Well, I'll stay on this heading. I see I'm a little bit off, so I'm going to have to make a pretty good turn. So about a mile before I get to the radial, I'm going to switch over to nav mode. That should do a pretty good job of intercepting the radial without going through it. You can see the course is starting to come in on the HSI.
And Catamount traffic, stock 9161 Tango.
Okay, I'm just waiting to get to 1 point. Okay, let's go ahead. Go into nav mode. Now I'm making that turn to intercept the radial.
437 Whiskey, 5 miles east of the airport, 91.7.
And let's just complete this turn before I do anything else here. So let's go ahead and complete this turn inbound. Get ready to intercept the radial.
Runway 36, Catamount.
If you zoom this out a little bit. We're zooming in so you can see more closely. I'm getting ready to select the radial. One of the things that's really nice is this course line that's up there showing you the heading that you're going to go.
674 Alpha turning left, final runway 1.
Okay, so now I'm dead on course. I'm going to Bowie VOR. I'm 13 miles away. I'm going to be there in 5.5 minutes. So I think that 5.5 minutes should give me enough time to show you one other thing, which is a little bit of the engine page. So the easiest way to get to the engine page, I could just use this knob to get over to it, but if I touch the engine bar, it brings up the engine page. Default to show me my cylinder head and my exhaust gas temperatures. I've got the lean assist mode.
To the northwest.
I've got my fuel showing I've got 6 gallons in my left tank, and that's the tank I'm running on right now. 11 gallons in the right tank. Fuel flow and fuel PSI.
About 3,000 feet.
If I go to my electrical page, I have my main battery voltage. This is my auxiliary battery. This is just the one that I use for starting up the avionics before I start the engine. And some emergency backup for the avionics. And then I'm drawing 12 amps right now. Then my fuel calculation, I've got 17 gallons remaining. I'm showing my full. I set my full to 40 gallons, even though the true full is 42 gallons. That's an extra 2 gallons in reserve. I have my endurance, I have my range, and my current mileage, 17.9 ATA miles per gallon. Let's go ahead and go back to the map.
45 left downwind for 1 and 7.
And I can probably pull my power back a little. Maybe lean it out a little bit more.
Bottom traffic, 9437 Whiskey, turning on final for 17. Bottom.
Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the approach now. So I go over to my waypoint. See it defaulted to loading the VOR approach in. It's demonstrated that on one of my other videos. Fan that out, and now I can brief the approach. So I can see all the frequencies and what the approach is going to do. So basically on this approach, I'm going to, it starts at the VOR. And then if I come in, 3100 is my, I'm getting the EGT. Let me increase my fuel flow just a little bit to get rid of that EGT warning. So 3100 plus in-tour at 3000, and then start down to my straight-in minimum of, let's move that up a little bit so you can see it, of 1700. So let's go ahead and put my minimum in. Put my minimum 1700. The big knob on the outside here, real easy to dial in whole numbers. Let's go to 1700. Enter that. Okay, so now my barrel min is set. So that's my missed approach altitude. And then and I'll use, since this is a non-precision approach, I don't have any vertical guidance, I will be using my autopilot to do a drive and dive down to that 1700 foot minimum. Okay, let's shrink this down a little bit and then go over to the map page as I'm getting ready to enter the hold. I say I'm 2 minutes away from entering the hold.